guys ever assess how emotional you get when you're um when you're in a trade or you look for a trade? You guys ever think about that, Brady?
Oh, that's what I need to like nip because I'm so emotional that I'm afraid to do anything even.
Yeah, yeah. You ever kind of assess, and that's the, I think that that's where a lot of it comes into play, with trading, like we've said over and over, and I know it sounds like it's constantly repeated, but with trading, the emotional side of it has to, as best as possible, be cut out, and it's just got to be placed, whether you win the trade or lose the trade, you just got to place the trade, uh, without emotion. And I was looking at a lot of my trades because there was one trade I was in yesterday on gold, one of my trades, and I was long on this huge down move, and I was looking at it, and I was thinking about the trade, and I was like super uncomfortable in the trade, very uncomfortable in trade. It was like 3 ticks away from hitting my stop loss, and I was like, God, this is like probably the dumbest trade to put in when you can see a clear downtrend, right? It's like going against everything. And then I thought to myself, man, if I'm that emotional about the trade, I really shouldn't be in it anymore,
Right. That's
you know?
correct.
And I was
Mhm.
like, God, I just need to step away from it. So I just exited the trade, right? And then I let it come back up to the resistance and then took another trade short in the downtrend continuation. And it was a lot easier for me because I could see the direction of the move. I held on to a directional bias based off of what was going on in the market. I wasn't trying to push against, kind of go against the grain. I wasn't even like, once I placed the trade short, I didn't have to really think too much about it. It just went. And it wasn't really a long trade either. It just kind of went and was in and out. But I thought to myself, I think every single trader is going to go through this specific point in trading, but it's being able to recognize what's going on internally, whether you're in the trade, you're not in the trade, and you're looking for a trade, um, and or it could pretty much be anything. If you're in the trade, you want to get out of the trade. I think that that's something that can kind of hinder people's performance. I don't know. I don't know if any of you guys struggle with that, but I noticed yesterday in one of my trades against the actual trend, that's what was going on internally. And I think best to kind of help with this is to kind of gauge where you're at, in your emotions when you're trying to trade, right? Do you got a trading plan to set up? When you place that trade, did you follow that setup? Are you trading with the trend? Are you trying to go against it? You know, how much strategies did you have to put on within the day that you're deciding to trade? So, I mean, if you guys get real emotional about trading, I would highly recommend not to put yourself into the trade if you're that emotional before the trade. It's not that you're going to be 100, you're never going to be 100% confident about a trade. That's just not how it works, right? But the way that it works best here is to have a plan of action before each trade that you try to put on, and set limits. Discipline yourself, as best as possible before you enter your trade, and make sure you know your exits, your targets to exit when you're in the trade as well, or before you get into the trade.